All right. Good evening, everybody. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me tonight. We're so sorry about the delays, but things happen, life happens. So I just want to take the time out to go over while I'm here. So let's think Nola Creative and Living Color Artist Unchained. So that is who is bringing you this rose challenge. So it is a 10-day rose challenge, and we're just challenging artists of all kinds to push yourself. You know, push your limits. You know, get outside of your comfort zone. Build that muscle memory. Try something a little different instead of the same old, same old. So that is how we grow and develop as artists. And whether you do acrylics or face paint or body paint or you do a series of dots or any whatever your medium airbrush, and you want to practice doing roses in different ways so that you can be more versatile. This is what we are challenging you to do. We are inclusive for anybody who has a passion for the form of arts. So today's theme is garden rose. So I am going to be doing a tutorial for you guys of my interpretation of a garden rose design. But really quick, I wanted to just give a shout out to our sponsors. So if you have been participating from day one, this is what you needed to do in order to qualify for some of these prizes that we are offering. So our US sponsor is Andrea, and she's also partnered with Sally Ann. So you can see her boards, her beautiful mirrors, her soaps there, and some other awesome free prizes. So those of you participating in the US, this is a prize that you have a chance to win. You have to remember to do all of the hashtags, which you'll see in a second. For our international participants, the prize you can win is our amazing Amanda. She has put together this beautiful, beautiful bling and this beautiful mirror that you guys will be able to get a chance to win by participating in all 10 days and using the proper hashtags and applying whatever that day's theme is for each day. So make sure that you're painting every day, that you're posting the appropriate hashtags. And that you're sharing in the proper places. So Facebook and Instagram with those proper hashtags in order to be entered into those. Okay. All right, guys. So I am not going to delay anymore. I'm going to pull up my handy dandy mirror here. I've got another one that's more stationary in case I, for whatever reason, need two hands. And we're going to get started. So I am just going to, it's going to be somewhat of an eye design, but it's going to flow like a C shape across my face, but the focal point will be here. So I've got a big forehead. I like to say I got a lot of real estate to utilize. You can definitely modify the design if you want to do something like this on the job. For someone who doesn't have this much space. To do roses, I want to start out and let you guys know I prefer to use angle brushes. So this tip here allows me to add a little bit of extra white to get the edges of those roses nice and crisp and really pop so that it doesn't start to like bleed or blend in together. But the key is to get drying time. So I am just going to dampen my brush, dipping it into the water, letting a little bit of excess come off. And actually, you know what? Let me start with my base. Take a sponge here. What base do I want to do? I've got an egg sponge here. Let's do, this is a split cake. I've repotted all of my stuff, so I'm not even sure what it's called, but it's got like purples and blues. I'll show it to you so that you can see that. So there's purples, blues, and we'll use that in the corner of the eye. But I am going to take it all the way up because we're going to put a little fairy up in there later. So I've covered my entire brow. Okay. And now I'm taking that brush that I dipped and I'm going to do, this is Lilac Bloom I believe by Party Explosion is the brand. That brand I have only seen available through Face Paint Forum Shop, so you know. But now I'm going to lay down the base of my roses. So laying the brush down flat on its side and just wiggling to get a petal shape. I'm coming out a little bit and doing it again and doing it again. So we've got one right there. Just into my hairline just a little bit, but that's okay because it's me. Okay. Then we're going to do another one here. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys can see at a good angle. So there'll be two roses there, but then we're also going to have one come out of the corner of the eye. And send me some hearts, show me some love. Let me know that you guys are with me because I'm not seeing any comments come up as of yet. I'm going to do one more. So we've got our base petals down for our roses, okay? Now to let that layer dry before we go in and put another layer in, we can do our leaves and the filigree that we're going to put in there. So I am going to take a 3/8 angle brush and I am just going to load up any split cake that you want to use for leaves. I mix them sometimes just to get a different shade. And then place them sporadically. Nope, I'm not using white. So just lay down 2 leaves. And in between that next layer, we're going to pop a little fairy on here because it wouldn't be garden themed if we didn't have a fairy, right? Another leaf. Now the next thing I'm going to do is going to be kind of like a flower bud. So it's going to be like a round shape. So I'm really turning it because I want it to be really round. And then I'm taking the tip of the brush and I'm dragging it back. So very, 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 very thin line there. And then do another one. Just lay it down and pull it back. So these are going to look like buds when we're done adding all the accents to it. And we'll do some more right here. And I'm just really pressing it to get that nice round shape. And then pulling back. And then another one. So we got 2 little buds here and there and our leaves. So now we're going to go in and do the next layer. So now is when I am going to load that same lilac loom split cake. But now I'm going to take the tip of this brush and dip it in a white so this next layer really pops and doesn't muddy up into some of these other colors. So I've got a wolf white here. A fusion white would be good. You just want to make sure that you are keeping your bases the same with your paints. So in that negative space, like in between the petals that's already laid there, we make another layer of petals. So it kind of goes like halfway in between, halfway in between. And again here, just wiggling. Let's get that done better. So we've got our next layer of petals. We're no longer going to use this to do the center. We're going to switch to a smaller brush to do the center of these roses. But while I'm waiting on that layer to dry before we go do that step, I'm going to pop a little fairy stencil and glitter on the eyelid to give that a chance to dry. So I'm going to take my round sponge. I've got a fairy stencil. It is old, like you can barely, it's so scratched up from all the washing that it's been through. But I am going to have to use my stand-up mirror to put this on because you need to hold a stencil with at least 2 fingers. And then I got to pounce it so I can't use my handheld mirror. So I'm going to switch. But I want to do it in like a really, really dark purple. So I am going to, this I want to say is Imperial Purple by Superstar. And oh, I'm hiding stuff from myself. I'm mixing it with a little bit of black because I want it really, really dark. And she's going to float in this outer area, so it won't interfere with anything else that I've already laid down. I'm just pouncing that down. Perfect. We've got our little fairy in the garden. Get some of this paint color off my hands. Let me know if you guys have any other questions along the way. I know there is a little bit of a delay that I see come through sometimes, but as I see them come up, I will answer. All right. So next, we're not, ooh, I still got paint like all over my hands from that sponge. Before I go like messing anything else up, let's clean that off. So we're going to take a smaller brush to do the center of the flowers. And again, it's going to be an angle brush, and this is a 1/2 inch angle. I'm just going to get the brush wet. And I'm only loading like the lighter 2 colors in this palette. And then again, dipping just the tip of this into white to really get the center of its pop. Don't want it too overly saturated because it'll muddy it up. All right. So now we can do the inside of our roses. So you do that 1/2 C shape and then close it. And then like a teardrop in, a teardrop in. We've got the one closed, and then again here, I'm painting this upside down. So C shape. And we'll do it here as well. C shape. I want to go over this one. There we go. Better. So our roses are complete in the shape that they are, but we're going to add some more details to this whole design, okay? All right, so we're going to take a number 2 round and really accent these leaves. So I'm going to take a dark green and just finely outline the leaves. I'm adding some dimension to these buds that we laid out earlier. Outlining those, so it's a thick to thin line. Some details to the leaves. I want to create a dry brush effect, so I'm using my arm to dry that off a bit. There we go. Thank you. So, got a few other leaves to add some lines into. I gotta put some glitter on here. And I'm gonna take that dark purple, just because it looks odd with the leaves outlined and no real outline on the flower. But the key is to be very light-handed, so it has a faint outline, but not a heavy one. So there's a little bit of outline there, but not heavy. So I seldom outline anything. I need more practice for sure. Yes, practice, practice, practice. Again, you want to do a very light touch. So it's not supposed to be like a bold line. But this is the thing where the kids in my chair and they're like, oh, this tickles, because it's such a faint touch. And I like to make the joke that face painters are also known as professional face ticklers. So they get a kick out of that. So it's a really, really faint outline, but just enough to make it pop. So now I want to add a few highlights. So I'm going to make sure that I brush this brush off really well. I'm still using a number 2 round. And if you wanted to be quick on a job, skip outlining everything. Just leave it as it is. So I really want this to be on the drier side. So it is going to be just a little on these. Nope, I'm still live, guys. A little bit in the leaves. Finger blending is always best. I'm not doing a straight line. I'm kind of wiggling in there and then blending the rest out with my finger. So So I'm laying the brush down on its side. And then blending it out. I really, really wanted to get fancy, we could take some more purple shadow. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I do the extra step? Because it's not, I mean, I feel like I got the time. I tend to go really, really fast. And I'll tell you, thanks to COVID, I've had smaller gigs where the crowds aren't that big. And I'm able to really do some awesome stuff. So yeah, let's do that. Let's pull out some powders. And put some purple more in depth. And find the proper brush to do it. I like to use like a small, like a small flat brush. This is like a number 4. It's really small flat brush to put that in there. So we can do that. Get my powders out. And you will put this just lightly. And I'm like packing it in there behind where each petal would be, just a little bit. See the difference? You want to make sure that it's just lightly loaded. You don't want to get a lot of fallout because then you will ruin like the whole design. I'll just use 2 different shades of purple. And you can definitely see that it has more depth. I like that. I like it a lot. Okay, glitter. I took all of my glitter sticks and I put them in my kit, which is put up right now. But I have this is a shimmer. This is more like a powder. So we'll apply this. It's blue. This is by Art Factory, I believe. It is. So they have these shimmer powders. And I'm literally taking like a shadow brush to apply that on top of this paint. Definitely put some around where our fairy is. And then some swirls and curls and teardrops. And I'll call it done. Which I think I want to do in white, and my mock-up, I did them in green, and I don't know. Because there's some negative space here and a little there and there, and put a few starbursts right here. I'm still using that number 2. And you just make a dot, flick up, flick down, flick left, flick right. So now our fairy is popping. We'll make her wings pop a little bit too. So now her wings really stand out. Press and pull up. Again, a really light touch. Make that touch. So it really kind of frames the eye. But we'll add some teardrops or swirls in there too. And call it done, y'all. All right, so this is the finished look. I'll get in close. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I have 2 businesses that I represent: Colorful Events, which is my main business, and my Sparkling Glitz Boutique. So this stencil that you see here in this image is going to be on sale, 20% off until the end of this challenge. So I will definitely share a link in all of the groups for you guys. If you feel like you've really been struggling with trying to do one stroke roses or even tribal roses, whatever it is, or you just want something to be quick and easy speed, you've got to get designs done in a minute or less, that is definitely a way to go to get that done. So again, a shout out to NOLA Creative Live and Living Color Artists Unchained for putting this together. Bravo to them. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for having me and allowing me to be a part of this process, and just being out here to encourage other artists to build muscle memory and get out of their comfort zone and just have fun and try new things. Tomorrow, you will have the amazing Andrea. She is going to be going live all the way from Germany, y'all. Okay, like she is dedicated. If you have seen her work, like her ghost roses, her airbrush work, like her acrylic, she's just phenomenal. So check her out tomorrow. Stay tuned. Tomorrow morning, or actually at midnight tonight, the theme for tomorrow will be revealed. So that's always a surprise of the day. So continue to participate. Make sure that you guys are doing your hashtags. Oh, thank you so much. Make sure you're doing your hashtags and that you're posting on Facebook and on Instagram. And you have to participate every day. Like you can't miss a day. So in order to qualify, you have to participate every day. And along with the theme, today's theme was Garden Rose. So, you know, whether you do this design or your own variation, whether it be on a face or on an arm, on a back, on a chest, however it is that you want to do it, on acrylics, you know, needlepoint, I don't care. Whatever it is, the medium that you want to utilize, just continue to do it. Push yourself, challenge yourself. And thank you guys so much. Let's once again show the sponsors. So those of you guys who didn't see it at the beginning of the video, those of you who are in the US who are participating, our US sponsor is Andrea, who will be with us tomorrow. She put together this beautiful mirror, some soaps, and she partnered with Sally Ann Lynch, the amazing rose artist herself. for these beautiful practice boards that she's just debuted. So that is an awesome prize for those in the US. And then for those who are in international, overseas, outside of the US, this is the prize that you guys all qualify to receive, this beautiful mirror by Amanda Blingmania, and this beautiful bling. So thank you guys so much. I'm gonna show my design one more time. I'll post a picture of the final look, and we will see you guys next time. Stay tuned for tomorrow's tutorial. Bye.